Welcome back, guys. So we are here today on a beautiful rainy, foggy Wednesday afternoon, and we're gonna try knocking out some more of these studs today, particularly the ones that are on the east and west ends of the mill house here. Now, since it's raining, we've moved the truck and gotten it partially parked underneath the roof here, so that way we can access stuff from there without having to go out in the rain. And we also moved our ladder from the end of the building inside so that we can get up and down without having to go out in the rain as well. Okay, so we're gonna leave out this one last space right here where a stud would go, and what we're gonna end up doing eventually is putting in a door here, and then we'll have a set of stairs that'll be outside, that'll go down kind of behind where the mill is at. Now, as I've been working my way across here, I kind of had one of those oh yeah moments where last week I think I said that it was sort of borderline for if I would have enough boards to do all the way around here, and when I was calculating that, I forgot to include the fact that doing these windows uses up extra boards, and so that threw off my numbers by a good bit. So we're definitely going to have to do some more milling before we can get the other side done over here. So we're going to go ahead and finish out with what we got over here on the west side, and then maybe tomorrow we'll do some more milling to get the east side finished up. Well, we almost got this end done over here. We're short one more longer one to fill in there, and then we'll have to go through and fill in above our spacer board there as well with some short stuff. It's getting kind of dark. I know the camera, it looks halfway decent in here, but it's actually starting to get dark kind of early here today because it's so cloudy out. Alright, so for today, the first thing that we're going to do is we need to run up towards the road and get the loader, because it's still sitting up there after, I guess it was last week when we had to use it to unload feed from our trip for doing that. So we're gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna stop talking because we're supposed to get some really heavy thunderstorms coming in not too long at all. So I want to make sure that I have time enough to walk up there and get that and bring it down without getting rained on. And just like that, through the magic of YouTube, we now have the loader down here, so we are ready to go. First off, we're gonna start working on doing some more of these shorter studs that we'll be doing up top here, so that way we can get that finished, and then we'll start work on this longer log that we got here, and we're gonna use that for making stuff for the lower level where they got to be a little bit taller. Well, our predicted rain just started rolling in, so I had to pick this camera up and move it because it was sitting out in the rain, but we'll keep going with our 8-man action cam over there. And we do need to kind of roll this log a little bit, get it turned, because as it's sitting right now, there's no way that that's gonna work going along through there. So I think if we turn it just a little bit, we might just be able to get it fit in there without having to cut any off with the chainsaw. Alright, so we're almost through our second pass on this log, and just about to the end, maybe a foot and a half away from the end of our second pass, I hear a boom. Now normally when you hear a boom, that means that either you've broken your band, it's gotten old, worn out, developed some cracks in it, and it breaks. That's one option. Or the second option is that you managed to pop your band off from your wheels, the band wheels that it runs on, which normally means that your tracking wasn't set quite right. But there is now a third option for what that noise can mean, and I would almost be willing to bet that nobody has ever done it quite like I've done it before, because what I managed to do is, so this is the pulley belt that goes on our idle wheel over here. So that's the drive wheel over here. This one's just the idle wheel. It just spins. This is supposed to be in the groove of this belt. However, when I opened up the cover here, this thing comes dropping out of here. Now, not only did I manage to pop that off, but I managed to also keep the band on the band wheels. So I popped off the inner belt while maintaining the band blade on the band wheel. That's just pure talent right there. Now, I've known that for a little while now that one's about ready to need to be replaced there. It's been getting a little bit loose, but this is the first time that I've had it pop off quite like this before. So we're gonna try putting it back on there, seeing if we can keep on milling with it, whether it's going to give us any more issues or not. Hopefully that was just a little fluke. We'll be able to get through this log and hopefully the other one as well. Then we can pick up a new belt for that that pulley there, but I don't know. We'll see. Alright, well, the rain is really coming down out here now, but it's not too bad underneath here. We're getting a little bit blowing in from the end here because we don't have any siding on there, but we're staying pretty dry. I'm pretty happy with this. So we've got our 2x4s all cut up right here, ready to go. I think that should, I know I said this last time, but I think that should be enough to finish off the upstairs. And we still have a pretty good cant left. You can kind of see it over there on the stack right there. I moved that out of the way, and hopefully we should be able to use all of that for siding. That's what I kind of cut it down to the size that I want for that. So I think the rest of that will go to siding. If we need some more 2x4s, we can just toss that back over here and cut off another section there, get a few more. But I think what we've got over here on the fork should finish us off for the upstairs. We just had another bang come from the mill, and this time I think I know what it is. Now if you look through here, where that band is going and that area of the band is going, those are not in line with each other. So I think, yep, there we go, right there. our band broke, which is what I thought was going to happen the first time that we heard a bang, but as it turned out, that was the belt, or the pulley belt jumping off. So time for a new band in here. Alright, we got a new band on there, and the tracking was a little bit off before, so I was just kind of messing with that a little bit, trying to get that back to where it should be as well. That could be caused in part by the fact that the band, or the belts are getting kind of worn on it, and that can be throwing it off a little bit. That's probably why it was not quite where it should have been, but we got it running about what it should be right now. Alright, day 3, last day for this week. We are going to try knocking out this log here, since we weren't able to do it last night. One thing that I have gotten done is I went ahead and I got new belts ordered. It's about time that I did that, so got those coming in. They should be in beginning of next week sometime, so we can get those replaced, and hopefully that will get rid of that problem. Alright, I know I've said this at least probably half a dozen other times over the course of the build, and it has turned out to not be correct, but I think I've got all the lumber I need for this section of the project. We got our longer ones right here. I think we've got enough of those. I think we'll be good to go for these lower ones. And then from yesterday, we've got our shorter ones over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab those. We'll move them up top, lift them up there, and we'll see if we can't knock out a few more studs this afternoon. Got a little visitor down here checking out the mill house here, seeing what I'm up to. Actually, I think mainly what it's interested in is right over there is where I burnt stuff before, and it looked like it was kind of nibbling at some of that stuff there, trying to get some of the minerals out of it. Alright, well, we are almost done here. We've still got another couple left to finish this off. The thing is, I can't quite reach them to fasten in the top. It's a little bit taller than I am and what I can get to. So I'm gonna have to bring the ladder around over here and try doing something with that. But I don't think we're gonna mess with that tonight. My hands are starting to get cold, and grabbing onto the screws is not quite as easy as it should be. So I think we'll finish this off starting next week. But like I said, aside from those two, we are pretty much done up here for kind of framing in here with the 2x4s. So next week it'll be doing the last couple up here, and then we will move down to the lower level and start putting those in. Hopefully we should be able to get all those put in place. There aren't that many to do down there since that's only partially getting sided. And then I guess we'll just see how well that goes and how much time we've got. If we've got enough time, we might start working on milling up siding. That would be cool. And start working on that, because that's definitely going to be a bit of a project to do all of that and get all that milled up for this whole thing. So, like I said, that's going to be it for this week. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next week.